Good evening, all. It's 7:05, September 5th. 2023, 7 p.m., 7:05. I call this meeting to order. Roll call.
Councilman Becker,
Here.
Councilman Jekyll,
Here.
Councilman Lesko here,
Here.
Councilman Schultz.
Here.
President Johnson.
Here. Item 3, public hearing. Tonight we have none. Item 4, public comment. The city council will receive comments from city residents. Comments are generally limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for the record when called upon: name, address, subject matter, and contact information. No action will be taken on any public comments unless the item is also elsewhere on the agenda. If anyone on the Zoom wishes to speak during the public comment period, please raise your virtual hand through the Zoom as the chat box is not monitored during the meeting, and those on the call must remain muted if not recognized to speak. Tonight, we have 2 who have signed up. The first is Michael Ingales. Sorry.
All right, so.
Sorry. I'm sorry. State your name and address for the record, please.
It should be.
I know, but you have to state it. Thank you.
All right, so I remained as quiet as the Kansas City Council meeting up until this point. I've been a journalist. I've been investigating the Port Atkinson Police Department. Number of months now, we're going on from January to current. I just wanted to address that this department has a lack of transparency. Somebody needs to come out and figure out how to address that, city manager, whoever. I have been denied several public records by Lieutenant Lindsay, and I mean several as in a stack. All of which should have been legally obtained as public record. There is an investigation that occurred back in 2000 in regards to Luke Eggleston. There's a lot of what ifs that nobody wants to come out and say. There's really vague records. Jefferson County has actually hit it. I have a case from 3 years ago that is still open and pending. I'd like to know why that is, why there's no information on it. This department is very mismanaged. It is a joke in my mind, and I say that very lightly. I don't know, whoever's got to address that. I know you guys can't answer questions at this point, but think about it. Somebody needs to look into it other than myself. I do not want to have to get on there and get a hold of major news outlets and have them surrounding the area and just looking at all the activity, investigating themselves. I'd rather have the city actually come out and say what's going on. Because the next person that I see get pulled over by a yellow light, we're going through a yellow light when it's green, when they start through the intersection, there's gonna be a lot more problems. There's gonna be a lot more people checking this out. That is something that needs to be looked into by the city as well. A yellow light violation going through green/yellow is not a ticketable offense. So, I will continue to investigate what's going on. I'm tired of the pushback. I've had a lieutenant and a chief here that have pushed me to the limit. They have pushed me back, claiming that I'm stalking officers by recording them, which is completely unheard of. Because every city I've ever been into in any of the states I've been to, not once have I ever been called stalking on a police officer, following them around while they're on duty. I don't follow them home, it's while they're at work. So I'm just saying, this department needs to be looked at. The public needs to know what's going on, because this department will not let go of what's going on. That's pretty much about all I gotta say. I'm gonna keep investigating, but you guys need to look into this. Thank you.
Next, we have John House.
For Jefferson Street in town. I would like to make aware that the DNR is having a special deer hunt for disabled hunters, veterans, and I have offered up my 350 acres for this hunt. It starts, October 7th through the 15th. I'm just trying to get this out. The paper didn't seem to want to help me. I thought maybe the council president could help me. There is an 608 354-3492 number to call to. The lady's the head of it. She can place anybody in the state. There's 400 participants usually. There's a list of all the sponsoring landowners there that people can look at, choose. So I guess the DNR website, if you click on that, there's a sponsors list, and people need to sign up by September 15th, so I can get that into the DNR, and it's managed by the wards. So any questions or anything, I'd be more than happy to. You guys get sign language maybe? Thank you.
Is there anyone else who wishes to speak tonight on Zoom? We must have an alternate list. Next, we have Jody Raditz.
Hi, Jody Raddick. I live at 1245 Jeanette Street, Fort Atkinson. Last time I was here, I asked why the police officer is here now at our meetings. And, I thought somebody would have gotten back to me or called me. And so I'd like to ask that again, and I guess I'm wondering, does the council ever get back to people when we do say stuff? Like I know once, Mr. Donahue got up and he read some beautiful worded thing, and, did you ever respond to him? Like, will you respond to this gentleman? Does somebody get back to them? So that's one of my questions. And then I really wondered if, we are having the police here because, it was heard that a meeting that I was going to, that we were a bunch of extremists, when in actuality, it was a bunch of very nice citizens of Fort Atkinson, and we just want a little bit better communication. And some of us are concerned about one thing or another, and this lets us hear, because we can talk a little bit more freely than we can hear, that we hear more of what's going on in the city. So, I'm really, because I kind of think we should be saving our money and not having the police here. Unless there's a dire need. So, if somebody could get back to me within a month, I'd really appreciate to hear that. Thank you.
Please send me an email or call me. I'll be glad to get back to you. Next, we have Carol Yonker.
This is Carol Yonker. I live at 615 Short Street. What I have to say is real simple. Okay, I don't know how many of you are aware that the park is 300 block of Wilcox Street, and you own it. It's the city park. And I don't know how many of you know that. You go ahead, if you want to know how to get this, you just go down Sherman Street as you're walking past Premier Bank in Caddy's. And it's about 4 blocks from here. It's a city park that's owned, it's approximately, I would say, about an acre. I think, Lisa, you know about it. It was brought to your attention, I think, by Robert Tennant. Developed you, Robert and I talked about it. He's going to tell you about it. Very few people, you can live here your whole life and you don't know about it. Our taxes just went up about 18% approximately. This park is public land, we all own it, and I think we should look at it. So if anybody wants to know where it is, I hope that more people take a walk. Go drive by it, it's really interesting, you'll never find it. unless you were told about it. So it's 4 blocks approximately from here. All you have to do, drive by Patty's Premier Bank, get to Wolcott Street, take a left. You'll be shocked. It sits in between 2 houses. It's very weird looking. Would you admit, anybody who's seen it, you can't even believe it's there? It would be really hard. It's not for me to say what you should do with it. I have some ideas. The Chamber of Commerce now knows about it. They may even have a few ideas. That's not the point. The point is to bring it to the attention of people. If everyone in this room tells everybody they know about it. And then talk about it one day. That's all I'm asking is that everybody on this chamber look at it, talk about it. You are the Park and Rec director, what I understand. I've always found you to be fair. Your name's Brooke, correct? And that's all. I just want to bring it to your attention. That's all. Why do you gotta make come back with some great ideas? Just look at it. That's all I ask. So you know what I'm talking about. Go down Sherman Street to Wilcox, take a left, 2 blocks. Pay attention. You will hardly find it. You'll have to look. You'll see a road sign. It says construction. It's in that block. 1 block. Right near the hospital. The hospital. You can walk into it. Look. Okay, please. It's worth driving to see. You will be shocked. It's there. Stop. You just will be shocked. So please look. Your taxes went up. You have a right to do it.
Thank you. Anyone else who would wish to speak? Second call for anyone who wishes to have public comment. Third and final call for anyone who wishes to have public comment. Public comment is closed. Item 5, the consent agenda. The consent agenda is outlined below and is hereby presented to the action of the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on the request of any one council member. Items not removed may be adopted by one action without debate. Removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of the council president.
I would move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, petitions, requests, and communications. Item A.
Sure. So September is known as Suicide Prevention Month, a time in which mental health advocates, individuals, prevention organizations, survivors, allies, and communities around the country unite to promote suicide prevention awareness. On tonight's agenda, we have an official proclamation of the city of Fort Atkinson in recognition of Suicide Prevention Month. Whereas September is recognized across the United States as Suicide Prevention Month and provides the opportunity to educate our community about the warning signs for suicide and how to reach out and connect to those experiencing an emotional crisis. And whereas Suicide Prevention Month is a time in which mental health advocates, individuals, prevention organizations, survivors, allies, and communities around the country unite to promote suicide prevention awareness. And whereas we know that connecting, working with, and supporting one another can help prepare us for the future. And whereas, according to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, suicide is the second leading cause of death among individuals between the ages of 10 and 34, with more than 48,000 people dying by suicide annually in the United States. And whereas, according to Hope for the Day, with an average of 132 suicides completed daily, and each one directly impacting 100 additional people, including friends, service members, family, social media connections, and neighbors, we can safely assume everyone has been impacted by suicide. And whereas the city of Fort Atkinson publicly places its full support behind those who work in the fields of mental health education and law enforcement, and whereas there are providers in the Jefferson County area who can help those in mental health crisis, including family healthcare providers, Jefferson County Human Services Intake Crisis, and nationally by calling the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Now therefore, I, Bruce Johnson, on behalf of the City Council, hereby proclaim the month of September 2023 as National Suicide Prevention Month in the city of Fort Atkinson, and urge all residents to play a role in suicide prevention, and promote mental health and wellness as we strive toward reducing suicides.
I move to approve the proclamation recognizing September as Suicide Prevention Month in the city of Fort Atkinson.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7, resolutions and ordinances. Item A, review and possible action relating to a resolution requesting exemption from the city or from the county library tax for the city of Fort Atkinson. Ms. Hausman.
The Jefferson County Board has established a county library service and levies a county library tax. State statutes provide that a municipality is exempt from the county library tax if the municipality levies a minimum amount for public library services. Annually in September, the county calculates the minimum levy for municipalities to qualify for the exemption. So we received a letter from the county that indicates the city is required to appropriate at least $306,446 to the Dwight Foster Public Library in order to be exempt from the tax. The city is proposing to levy $616,511 in property taxes to fund the library operations in 2024. And this amount exceeds the appropriation for exemption from the county library tax. So staff does recommend that the city council adopt the resolution in your packet requesting exemption from the county library tax, and directs the city clerk to provide copies of the resolution to the county clerk and to the Jefferson County Library Council Administrator. I will just mention that this is an annual resolution that the council approves in order to remain exempt from this additional tax.
Also worth noting that the county is a big contributor to the operations of our public library, which is a good thing that we are providing services to a lot of the surrounding communities that don't have library services. So with that, I would move to approve the resolution requesting exemption from the county library tax for the city of Fort Atkinson.
I'll second that and just want to echo what you said. And it's another, I just see this as another benefit we have with having the Dwight Foster Public Library here in Fort Atkinson, which I really appreciate.
Any other thoughts or debate? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item 7B, review and possible action relating to a resolution recognizing World Migratory Bird Day on October 14th, 2023. Ms. Hausman.
Annually since 2016, the city has recognized the second Saturday in May as World Migratory Bird Day as part of the city's bird city designation. This year, staff is also recommending that the city recognize the second Saturday in October as World Migratory Bird Day in order to ensure the city's continued bird city designation. So the resolution is not expected to have any financial impact on the city. However, remaining a bird city may have positive impacts on local tourism. Staff does recommend that the city council adopt the resolution and take action to proclaim October 14th as World Migratory Bird Day, encouraging all citizens to support efforts to protect and conserve migratory birds and their habitats.
I move to approve the resolution recognizing World Migratory Bird Day on October 14th, 2023.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 8, report of officers, boards, and committees. City managers report. Ms. Hausman.
Thank you. I attended the League of Wisconsin Municipalities Chief Executives Conference in Elkhart Lake on August 23rd through the 25th. I spoke on a panel relating to consolidation and shared municipal services. I also attended sessions relating to the approved state budget and new laws to support residential housing development throughout the state, the changing workforce, broadband, and artificial intelligence, as well as staying well in our roles as local government. So I returned with a lot of ideas to explore, and we will slowly work through some of those ideas at the staff level. The fire and EMS chief recruitment process continues. The recruiter is interviewing stakeholders over the next several weeks, and the deadline to apply is September 16th. The local government academy completed the 4th session on August 29th. Planning for the future was the theme of that session. The final session is on September 12th, when class participants will make presentations about what they learned and how they plan to use that in the future. Additionally, Representative Scott Johnson is planning to attend, and former City Council President Chris Scheer. The Economic Development Commission met this afternoon and approved a loan from the Capital Catalyst Revolving Loan Fund for the Sweet Spot Bakery to locate at 225 and 227 South Main Street. We look forward to closing on that loan later this week. The City Council and the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, as well as the Plan Commission and the EDC, held a workshop this afternoon prior to this meeting relating to park impact fees. Our consulting planner from Vanderwall presented information and answered questions. So the proposal will likely move forward through the process, including a Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting, a public hearing at the City Council level, a Plan Commission meeting, and then it does also include an ordinance which will have several readings at the City Council level. As everyone knows, Associated Appraisal Consultants sent out the assessment letters in August relating to the interim market update as authorized by the City Council. Open Book provided a chance to meet with the assessor on August 30th and 31st. There will be another opportunity for Open Book appointments on September 12th via phone. Please reach out directly to the assessor if you'd like to make an appointment. Board of Review will take place later this month. And please recall that in general, when assessed values increase, the mill rate decreases and overall property taxes generally remain about the same. Lastly, please stick around this weekend for adult recess on Friday, Fort Fall Fiesta on Saturday. Both of those are at Jones Park, and the Library Food Truck Festival on Sunday, adjacent to the library. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Item 9, unfinished business. Tonight we have none. Item 10, new business. Review and possible action to appoint Robert Cassidy to the Fort Atkinson Community Foundation Board of Directors. Ms. Hausman.
So the Fort Atkinson Community Foundation was organized in 1973 as a result of a $25,000 gift by a local citizen who wanted the money to benefit a future Fort Atkinson community. Since its inception, the foundation has made grants totaling over $24 million through June 30th of 2023. The foundation's mission is improving the quality of life in Fort Atkinson by inspiring and supporting enduring philanthropy. The city council is one of 5 groups that appoint members of the foundation's board of directors. Sue Johnson has served in this role appointed by the city council in 2018. Her term ends in October of 2023. The city council appreciates her service to this board. After discussing the appointment with Council President Johnson, I did reach out to Robert Cassidy to understand if he would be interested in this role. Mr. Cassidy currently serves as a member of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board and the Loan Review Committee. He he's got a leadership role in Johnson Bank, and his background in finance equips him with a solid foundation to contribute to the foundation's financial management, investment strategies, as well as future staff recruitment. He does bring a wealth of experience in both business management and community involvement to this role. I did meet with Mr. Cassidy on August 30th, and he confirmed his interest in working with the Community Foundation to pursue its mission, vision, and values for the next 5 years. And with that, staff does recommend that the City Council appoint Robert Cassidy to a 5-year term on the Fort Atkinson Community Foundation Board of Directors beginning in October of 2023.
I have a question. Is it just in the Fort Atkinson Community Foundation's I'm blanking on the word, but bylaws, yes, thank you. That they've asked city council to be a voting member on this matter, or I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's through their bylaws that the school district of Fort Atkinson, the trustee of the foundation, which is currently Premier Bank, the Chamber of Commerce, the Historical Society, and the City Council each appoint one member to a staggered 5-year term on the Community Foundation Board of Directors.
Okay, interesting. All right, thank you.
They were started with $75,000. Is that what I understood?
$25,000.
25,000.
Yes.
What is their source of income today that they can afford these great gifts to us?
it's donations and investments.
Outstanding.
Yeah, it's a tremendous community asset, very well run. I will move to appoint Robert Cassidy to the Port Atkinson Community Foundation Board of Directors for a 5-year term.
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 11, miscellaneous. Tonight we have none. That was me. Oh. Item 12, claims appropriation contract payments. Item A, review and possible action relating to the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorize of authorization of payment. Clerk Everett. Nope, we're good.
Move to approve the verified claims as presented.
Second.
This is a roll call vote.
Councilman Becker,
Aye.
Councilman Jekyll,
Aye.
Councilman Lesko here.
Aye.
Councilman Schultz.
Aye.
President Johnson.
Aye. Item 13, adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
With multiple motions to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?